Hey guys, Dominus here with part 2 of Soren Syndicate. I hope you enjoyed the first part, so let's get straight into the second one. So the last time we followed the masked stranger into the Red Lotus, and we found a kind of boss guy here, and we followed him through, so let's see what we can expect to happen here. What's that gear clattering racket? A jet of steam cuts through the quiet of the den. What a curious machine, I wonder how it works. What's an automation doing here? It's not as if it can partake. If minotaurs are welcome, then why not tin willies? Sorry there, didn't mean to startle you. Off it goes, heading for the private section. And where did masked stranger get off to? Opiomaniac. A sleeping poppyhead is draped over a mattress in a corner, drooling idly on his shirt. Poppyhead is a recreational opium user. Fancy that an errand wallet is poking up out of the corner of his slack. It yearns to be free. That's interesting. His wrists right over it, though. This'll be a risky lift. Well, we wanted to be a thief. We picked the Sprinus, so let's pick his pocket. We got a king, which is automatically, I think, easy. Wait, what's that in the crack behind him? To clarify the well, one needs to be clear about posterior clefts. It's much easier to get to, for one thing. A whole damn pound. What did this tosser even intend to do with this? A tosser is a stupid or despicable person. So we got 1 pound. Perhaps he meant to get himself some teeth or a monocle. Lighter though by a few pence, yeah, he's incense pot. Sticks of heady incense waft in the air, always burning no matter the flow of customers. Okay. Sunken area. The floor pit has benches with tucked upholstery and pillows costing half-penny hour. Bronze coin worth half a penny. It's so late that most of the patrons have gone to sleep. Just before sun up is the only time the Red Lotus is empty. Okay, everyone is kinda drunk here, this guy is sleeping. I can't rotate the camera, which I don't like. Sleeping gents. 2 workmen, blissfully free of the waking world. And when they wake, I should hope they'll be refreshed, as well as their meaningless existence. Oh, so we got -5 hope for that. Okay, I'm gonna be careful what I'm gonna say next time. I don't know if we get anything positive from less hope. We got bookshelf here, a sturdy yet musty old bookshelf. The spines show such titles as Arcane Magic on the eastern edge of ruin, Opium Through the Ages, and Parlor Games Love in the Dreamtime. Dwarf and Automation. The Dwarf, Evening Stranger. The dwarf has a warm and amiable look, with a set of crystal blue eyes and sharply intelligent, and a red mustache that is so full it could crawl on his face and build a cocoon. His beard is elegantly braided in the common style. I finger the brass rings in my own goatee, which is coarse and stringy by comparison. How do I do? Just fine. Hard to say. Once I've had a fix, I'll be more clear-headed. I know the feeling. Name's Theodore Redgrave, Brotherhood of Boffins. Boffins are technical experts, often to a skill considered to be complex, arcane, and difficult. Most people just call me Teddy. Okay. You invent things, gadgets, and the like? Bloody well true, but my eyes aren't what they used to be, so I'm training this bucket of brass for my apprentice. The automation cheerfully jets a cloud of steam. That Rickery gizmo just about scared me witless. Bless my beard, sorry about that. You look like the tinkering type. If I had a little scrap, would you be interested? And sure, those cogs are worth a bit of sterling. Sell the cogs you collected, keep them for now. Let's keep them for now. And we'll see if we can sell it later. First, let me see if I can fetch a better price. Yeah, that was I thinking as well. The market's a fickle friend, but there's always a sweet spot. No hard feelings, of course. Your automation, has it got a name? This here is Otto. Perfectly friendly he is, if a little odd. Silly giving names to a machine, you ask me. Stands to reason, though, who among us isn't a little odd? Struth, I've heard it. What can I call you, sir? Atticus Daley. Teddy pats the automation with his fat paw. Mr. Daley, from the both of us, it's a pleasure. Otto's gonna need some tweaks before the brawls, but we'll have him fit as fiddle by then. Otto's a brawler, eh? So far he's only watched from the sidelines, but someday he'll fight with the other battle traps. No emotion from the automation, of course, but one can't help but wonder how it feels about all that. See, I'm a hunter of felled beasts and monsters, terribly evil or deadly. After the werewolf fights, those outlaw wretches are all tatterdemalion. Much easier to take in for a bounty. Only 3 days ere the moon is full bellied. Better have a good mind to who you're betting on. That's quite an occupation, must never be a dull moment. Ah yes, the pit fights, I've been to my fair share, good for a wager or two. Let's do spryness. That's true, I just knew you were a man of culture, and that's on top of having the kind of stature I look for in a cove eager to be on my docket while partaking in pit fights. A patching offer though, I don't want to commit just yet. Besides, the stranger wouldn't want me to be led astray by such endeavors. He strikes me as the kind of fellow who'd cross ocean and deserts while giving chase to his quarry. Good night then, and good luck with that contraption of yours. Okay, we got a private booth. There's the masked man, so let's talk to the dreamer first. Another gentle customer on a journey to the land of Nod, land of sleep-flom folklore. Another chicken asking to get plucked. Perhaps I'll have a rifle through his pockets. Of course. Let's see what we got. Okay, we got +1 blood. He shivers in his slumber and half turns over a close thing. But that's what makes it thrilling. About 5 shillings I fished out of his billfold. Not bad for a minute's work. Nice. I am liking that I chose to be a thief. Lattice wooden screens and high-backed seating provide some comfort and privacy for those that can afford it. The boots are made of luxurious calf leather. Calf leather, my poor brothers and sisters' skin for a creature comfort. The leather is well oiled and plush with dimpled riveting. Delicate china and exclusive menus of the den's offerings are available here for those of a more screening taste. Seems I'm in for a treat on account of the stranger's pocketbook, as fat as a Christmas goes. Let's show a little restraint. Surely he didn't bring me here for the elevated conversation and pleasure of my company. Better be on my guard. Better here than in the alley. Whatever his angle, there must be something in for me. He could have already killed me and collected on my bounty, but he didn't. I guess I should hear him out. I think we wanna do self-discipline here. It's worth seeing what he's after. Infuriating, but I can't keep the crone from intruding. Nevertheless, the stranger is waiting on me. Let's get on with this. The menu is embossed with an array of oral morphines, liquid and powder cocaines, and all manner of midnight oil, which is an opium. Teddy seems an interesting chap, and the automation is quite something, isn't it? Bugger the small talk, why did you bring me here? We've got plenty of time for explanations. Why don't we start with a sample of some of the den's wares? Careful now, he's obviously trying to curry favor, although it would be good to loosen up. With so many dear poisonous variations, it's hard to decide what will hit the spot. I must say, I'm impressed with your discretion. I would have thought just any fix would do. You're just greasing the wheels for whatever is it you want from me. Thanks, I suppose, but I know it's not from the kindness of your heart. We will do animal instinct. We'll see if you sing the same tune when it's said and done. Now then, while you think about the entree, I'll prepare the appetizer. He takes a small tablet out of his shirt sleeve, cracks it in half and drops it into my teacup. The other half goes into his own. You can't expect me to drink that. Half and half, an equal dose. I wouldn't kill us both, now would I? Okay. I think I will drink the tea, since he is drinking it as well. Oh, so we got 20 hope, and plus 1 blood. Well then, cheers to not killing anyone. The drug tea restores my spirits instantly. Took me ages to perfect this remedy. With this new blend, that ghastly, teeth-gnashing anxiety is gone, leaving just the euphoria. Seems this stranger is no stranger to drugs. The pains of my withdrawals are all but absent now. And for the main course, how about white wine elation? An artisan brand of opium. You must be fond of that one. His light-hearted confidence seems like a front. I get the feeling he knows you better than he's letting on. Any sort of psychic barrier is useless. The bothersome hag won't leave me be. And here I am face to face with a telepath. Enough of this facade. Not only did you pick my local place, but you pretend to suggest my favorite blend like it was a lucky guess. I know a little something about you, it's true, but it's part and parcel to my profession. I keep tabs on people who pique my interest. What is your profession exactly? Let's say I look after Her Majesty's interest with great vigor when they align with my own. At first his cryptic speech was alluring, but now it's plainly an annoyance. How have you been tracking me? It wasn't all that difficult, you only have a few homes. On with it then, you've tried my patience long enough. Very well. I already know of your life as a roughneck. and a panhandling mage. But what about before that? What about the Sacred Heart? What's a Sacred Heart? The Sacred Heart orphanage where Atticus lived as a child before running away at 13. Let's pretend we never heard of it. What is that? A church? Not much of a believer myself. It's possible you've effaced those memories. Tell me about your parents. Let's lie to him again, I guess. I don't remember my mother. Look here, if you insist on burying memories, then we'll need some wide wind to dust the old bones. Isn't Bounty better for leaving the past behind? I was a field medic in the Crimean War. I know how much Miss Emma lets a man dream through an amputation, and how much will bring an end to his misery. So Emma is morphine, okay? Let's hope his maths is right. Something occurred at the Sacred Heart that you've forgotten. With the help of an opium dream, you might recall the details that will lead to your mother. Lead me to her gravesite, you mean? What would that accomplish? On the contrary, I believe she's alive. Her name came up on a ledger at Bethel House, a private mental hospital in Bethnal Green. I've seen my share of swindlers, but this takes the cake. If I ever knew it, there is no chance in Hades I'd remember it now. Let's do the animal instinct. But if you could recall Matilda's family name, and it's on record at the orphanage and matches the ledger at Bethnal House, you could prove her identity at the hospital and by claiming kinship set her free. That means digging up memories of the Sacred Heart. Not exactly how I thought the night would unfold. Even if what you describe is possible, why should I want to find her? It's up to your discretion, of course, and I cannot share my own motivation for the truth. He's dreadfully opaque, isn't he? We cannot force your hand, but unless you can think back to those troubling times, then you won't be worth more than the price on your head. A bounty I'm assuming you'd be happy to collect? That's right, albeit less desirable, is another way to ensure that I won't have wasted my time. He's offering me a chance to live, but only if I can draw up those memories. So what will be? The dream dose and a voyage between the banks of memory, or the death dose at the end of all of your days? Why can't we take the death dose? Okay, let's take the dream dose then. You take the stranger's offer, eager to lose touch with harsh reality and for a chance to recall everything that could lead to your mother's whereabouts. Shortly after drifting away from consciousness, you find yourself being enveloped by a miasma of repressed memories. The stranger's recent inquiries remind you of you growing up in the Sacred Heart orphanage. Auntie Emma's warm embrace suddenly morphs into chilly restraints as remembrances of dooryard scuffles with bellicose orphans resurface. It's as if life's refusing to allow you to seek refuge from tangible hardships, no matter how potent your drug of choice for escapism is. This place is truly a dream, but it's all too familiar. You must find out what that stranger is seeking in your memories. Okay. Let's see. So we took the dose of the dream dose, and we are In a dream, I guess now. Okay, let's talk to Sister Heloise. The courtyard is nothing but hard-packed sand and scruffy grass. Heloise watches over the children at play. By this time you were big enough to give as good as you got, and the ones who wouldn't fight you insulted you with abandon. As the others adapted, I became more isolated. I often thought of running away. Atticus, he'll be 12 years old in a week's time. There's something I need to tell you. What's the difference? Getting out of here as soon as I can. Now, Atticus, let's hear what she has to say. It's about your mother. I should have told you sooner, but I didn't know how. I'm sorry, Atticus. I wish I'd been more brave. At least you're telling me now, before I quit this place. The day you arrived, there was a ring wrapped up in your blankets. You're old enough to have it now, and your mother left this too. Heloise hands me an old piece of parchment, a note from my mother. Can you make out what it says? No, there's no message I can produce the memory. There's nothing written down, it's a blank piece of paper. No, there's no message I can produce the memory since we are in the dream. The truth will come in time. I'm sorry I kept this from you for so long. Did she ever come back for me? She came back half a year later and insisted you were her child. She mentioned the note and knew the date we found you on the steps. But why didn't I go with her? Hush, Heloise is coming to that. As your mother signed in the registry, a horse and a buggy drove up outside, and there was a terrible shout as someone bowled over the sister at the door. When this fellow burst in, your mother went stiff as a corpse. Could it have been my father? I don't know who he was, but he struck a panic in my heart. There was malice in his every step, a twitching, insidious man. He took your mother and she never returned. Get me out of this nightmare. White-wing elation is never like this. Perhaps you were too young to hear the tale. Hearing this from Heloise hurted me at the time, but it still didn't change the fact that I couldn't stand the Sacred Heart. After I fled the orphanage, I did search for my mother until I decided there was nothing I could do. Perhaps not then, but this is now. Okay. Can we go here? Yes, we can. Okay, let's check the statue first so I don't forget about it. Okay, so I guess we can't go back and we missed the statue and I didn't save the game. Can I... Okay, never mind. Let's check the chalkboard. The bits of colored chalk were the most sought after. It's too bad they were so often wasted on crude drawings. I see you recovered from your latest round of fisticuffs. Anything to say for yourself? I'm getting stronger. All the time my hide is getting coarser, thickening. There are many ways to be strong, dear boy. It's time you learned what your bloodline is capable of. Must be another ploy to get me to stay, but I'll be 13 in a few months and then I'm running off for good. Being singled out as a minotaur, always having insults thrown at you, it's terrible. The bright spot is that you have the gift of magic and you can develop your talents if you study the tarot. She fans out the colorful cards. They seem to buzz with an eerie electricity. Look closely at this card, the Magician, a symbol of new beginnings, one arm to the heavens and the other toward the earth. He is a conduit between the spiritual and the material realms. The magician transmits potential energy from its ethereal state into perceptible forms. What can't say I bite, but I'm listening. That's the spirit. Minotaurs are magical creatures, and like this magician, you are a conduit. I committed the spell to memory long ago. I'll share it with you, but only with your promise of wholehearted trust. Okay, Heloise, I know you wouldn't lead me astray. I trust you. And I trust you, Atticus, because if my superiors should learn of this, I never were the habit again. Now, this is a cantrip. You must speak it over and over until it's written across your mind in bold letters. Her voice drops into a strange low whisper. Sight from the fire, hearing from the ether, smell from the air and taste from the water, touch down to the earth in another form. Aristotle defined 5 senses: sight, smell, touch, taste and hearing, corresponding to the elements of fire, air, water, earth and ether. I think I understand, except for that bit about ether. Ether is the energy propelling each heartbeat, the same material in the soul, the consciousness of all blooded creatures. Those with proper training can channel ether into earthly sphere. Therein lies the power of the cantrip, the ability to transmit energy into matter. Ether is tied to hearing, so first you must learn to listen, you must hear the winds and the wiles of the heavens. I see the night is getting on, what about the rest? Try to remember. Blast, I drowned the memory in too many gin baths. Obviously. It's alright, you've repressed it. Is it time to wake up? I dare say I'm ready for this to be over. Teddy bear. A teddy bear with a missing eye and a matted mohair fur. It suffered the pitfalls of a rough life in the orphanage, just like the rest of us. Let's check the footlocker. This was my bed right next to Snyder, and here in the footlocker I kept a few trinkets, wordless, a lot of them. These purple darlings brighten up the dreary place, picked fresh from the scullery by Leo. When midnight strikes, I'll be 13 years of age. Father Franco keeps the orphanage funds in the private office. That's my ticket out of here. Sneak past Snyder. Balin, now let's get a lockbox and scrapper. Let's save the game and I don't know if I should wake him up. I guess no. There's enough here to get me started on my own. Pay dirt. I'll put 100 leagues between me and the Sacred Heart. What was that? Sounded like it came from the hallway. The house is roused. I'd better make my exit. Someone's coming. My only way out is through the window. 20-foot drop from the second story, but I'd rather a twisted ankle than a date with a willow switch. There's a voice in the corridor, then a pale shape that emerges from the shadow. Stealing this money, it hurt the Sacred Heart. We fell behind. We skipped over holidays and knitted clothes for the children. This memory's been twisted by the guilt you fell from it, taking a new shape to prevent this sort of behavior again. Who cares, it was ages ago, and I'll behave however I damn well please. I needed this money, how else would I have made it on my own? I'm sorry, Heloise, but I had no other choice. There is always a choice, my child, and there is still a way to make it right. Window. Normally, I'd say that drifting into deep sleep would be a merciful release from reliving such memories. Yet something compels me to push on, to be put through the ringer, to face that greatest of foes, myself. When I was young, I thought that money was the most important thing in life. Now that I am old, I know that it is. Okay, so now we are gonna play as the second character, I think. It's chapter 2, Lord Silas airship, Clara Reed. Navigate London as the sharp and savvy courtesan Clara Reed before new crimes and the marking of her past catch up to her and tear her life apart. Okay guys, I'm gonna end the second episode here. We played through the first chapter. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Like the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the game. I'll be recording the part 3 and the Clara Reed chapter soon, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.